Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
Somebody's looking. See the grin on his face right now? The Cheshire Cat ass grin on Gerard's face. Look at him. Look at him. He thinks he's a big deal. Welcome to the Marks Podcast. It is Sunday, and you know what that means. Our boy Gerard was doing some work yesterday, and that's where he got that photo. Gerard, would you like to tell everybody what you were doing yesterday?
Oh, I had the pleasure of being up in Augusta, Maine for a big-time wrestling event, and the main attraction of the night was one Mr. Kurt Angle, and I was able to have some nice words with him. We were able to go over some things from 27 years ago. We were able to, reminisce a little bit about some things that happened, that goes on in the back. Was able to talk some personal stuff and family and stuff. And I will say that as much as I've enjoyed watching him in the ring, being able to talk to him on that personal level, it's nice to see that he's got through the demons of his life and he's found his true calling. He's turned into a total family man. And, I have 100% respect for that, just for the fact of you've turned your life around in such a way to where now he enjoys very much taking his kids to what they need to do. It's like he's become the soccer mom.
Minivan and all?
Huh?
Minivan and all?
Yeah, no, he doesn't have the minivan. He told me, we don't have that yet. But, he gets to enjoy being a dad. And,
How did it feel putting up the zebra stripes again? Because I know that is like something you do in your side.
I remembered my knee pads this time, so I didn't blow up my knees, which was a hell of a lot more comfortable. So every time I went down, I didn't blow up my knees, but I was counting so hard in a fatal four-way, I blew out my fingertips. And if you don't know what blowing out your fingertips means, is right below your fingernails, your skin just splits because you're just hitting the canvas so hard. And I'm like walking back from the ring. I'm like, what the? Why are my hands wet? I look down, my hands are covered with blood because the end of my fingertips, I had smacked the canvas so hard, I literally split them.
I think you and I have talked about this, and some people don't understand it. Like you'll see gimmick rings, like some people have rings set up, and they're softer. They're a gimmick ring. They're for like photo ops and shit. But a real wrestling ring, like the one you were in, the 16x16, canvas hurts. It can tear your skin. It's painter's canvas.
It's not so much the canvas itself. It's what's under the canvas.
Fucking 4-inch plywood or the 2-inch plywood?
The canvas, the ring we had yesterday actually had center springs.
Ooh. Miss Big Blue yet?
Oh, dude. So I'm walking on this ring and imagine an old wooden bridge to where every board just goes like this. This is what
you want to be a pro wrestler, huh?
Oh, it was 2 center springs, not just 1, 2. So nothing, you couldn't stand on 2 boards and be level with each other. And I'm like, oh, this is freaking brutal.
But every time you got back, I know you were just excited to talk about it.
Oh,
you got to talk about your pecker at some point.
Oh, no. Well, put it this way. I can tell you, when he walked in the building and I went up and shook his hand and said, how are you doing, Saba Simba? He goes, Saba Simba. Oh, one in every crowd.
See, and the thing is, we're talking about Tony Atlas, and we've gone back and forth about Tony Atlas, but from what you were telling me, man, that he literally is what happens when you work too hard on this business, and he's Tony.
It's amazing that he can remember things that have happened in the business. When it's the small interaction I had with him yesterday, and it's like you just want to say, is it a gimmick that he puts on, or is he really like that? To where it just seems like the lights are on, nobody's home.
You think that's some CTE?
I think it could be some of it. I'll put it like this, though. At 67 years old, he's still in phenomenal shape for 67 years old.
Yeah.
But you know him. He's a Mainer now. He lives in Maine now, and he's talking about how he just became a grandfather and stuff like that. To where, like I said, a lot of these, you know, and it happens to people to where you can run your life a certain way. One little thing happens in your family, and a switch hits that says, "This ain't my purpose anymore. This is my purpose now."
Yeah.
And the man that you used to be, what everybody used to think you of as, if that little switch turns everything around.
You said something, and it's I'm trying to like move it away from my head, but I guess I have to bring it up about families. And Kurt Angle is the thing you notice about him is his incredible thing that he's become a family man. So I watched, I was on YouTube, it popped up recently, and it showed the Wyatt Six going to the Universal Studios debut of the Firefly Funhouse. And you see Eric Rowan. He's in tears going through there because they had some stuff in there from Bray Wyatt. And it just like it's crazy how that happened, because earlier this week because every so often you just need to decompress, and I do it every so often. And I go back and I look at the Bray Wyatt tribute. You know, there's no secret. He is my favorite wrestler for a long time, other than like Raven back in the day. And as well as like Jay Briscoe. I always talk about how great they were, how underappreciated I felt they were. And I think that we forget sometimes that beyond just being wrestlers and entertainers, these people have families that they love dearly. And, you know, you talk about someone like a Brody Lee and how Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan have all come out and said, if there is a Mount Rushmore for wrestling dads, Brody Lee would be on that. Bray Wyatt loved his kids. And you know, ultimately we're watching a fucking entertainment program, but we forget that these are human beings.
If you think about it like this, okay, and Triple H has allowed, Vince did it very seldomly, but Triple H has allowed it more often to happen. The families to be there for the entertainers in the ring to come out of the ring and actually acknowledge their families, the people who they do it for. You can say they do it for us, but they go to work for their families, to provide for their families.
Yeah.
Just like all the other major sports leagues and stuff like that. When you see that, the only difference is, and professional wrestlers notoriously have been extremely private with their families outside of the business.
Well, and you're to this day, it's still a lot of that too. And a reason I brought up the Bray Wyatt stuff is because, so him and his original wife got divorced, and he ended up marrying JoJo, the ring announcer, and they have children. But nobody talked about their personal life. Hell, Jay Briscoe in Ring of Honor was strictly known as just a badass country boy who had his brother Chicken, Mark Briscoe, who's still doing it in AEW. But nobody knew how much of a family man these guys were other than their close circles. Brody Lee, the Exalted One, who passed away right during COVID. They knew he had a son named Brody, but they didn't know how much of a family man he was until it came out after his passing. Now, do you think that as far as wrestling goes, should we be going into that? Should we be opening that door and talking about what good people these are behind the scenes?
Without opening a Pandora's box on it, baby faces should be celebrated on it, okay? and not just selected ones if the wrestlers want it out there.
Yeah.
Heels, if they don't, you don't even go into it because you don't want to humanize heels. Sad part is you don't want to humanize heels.
But we've done a job of that. And before we start talking about Saturday Night's main event, Drew McIntyre, right, has done an amazing job of basically bringing his personal life into this and being the guy who's like, he's the first heel that I've seen in a long time that if you really listen to him, he's justifying half the evil shit he does because he's always gotten fucked over. The difference between him and a normal baby face is that a normal baby face is like, well, it takes it on the chin. We'll get him next time. Drew's like, no, fuck this. This is bullshit. It goes back to the era of Bret Hart grabbing McMahon behind the desk and saying, you're not going to do nothing about this. I'm getting screwed. This is bullshit. You know, it's very indicative of that. And I like that style of heel. After yesterday's fucking program, I don't know how I feel about Drew and where his future is because this has gotten ridiculous. But
let's talk about it like this, okay? When it comes to the family aspect of it, the family aspect when I say that I don't care about your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh cousins coming to the arena and stuff like that. Most of us know the wives of these guys. Most of us seen them. The kids, if
they've seen them,
most of us have seen them. When you want to bring your kids on and stuff like that, that's a thing too. As far as it goes, is you have the people of this world, unfortunately. Bring your family, don't bring your family. You're going to get trashed. And there's no further thing than that is like, I like watching football. There's a certain person who is engaged to a certain football player who, whenever they actually happen to show up, the TV just wants to engage with that person. I could care less who that person engaged to unless that person.
Hold on. I see you over there.
Unless that person wants to come out down to the field and gets involved in the game. Okay?
Come on, hold on.
Hold on. Let me finish. If that person wants to get involved in the game, fine. But I don't need to know when every time that person just blinks their eyes. I don't need to know.
No, and I agree, and I understand they're trying to bring more eyes to their sport and to the NFL. I get that, but damn it, I don't need to see Taylor Swift every 5 fucking minutes.
I did not mention the name.
I don't care about Kelsey's Wood. I don't care about her songs being done by AI. I don't give a shit. I'm there to watch football.
And so today, I'm watching the Patriots play, and they're showing, sure enough, Cardi B up in the stands. I don't need to know this. She's not doing nothing for my.
She makes money moves.
But I'm watching my football team play. I don't need to care who's up in the stands. Well, just like in wrestling, when they do that thing,
nobody wants to see the Patriots. So, thank you, Cardi.
No, it's like when you're watching wrestling and they start showing people who are in the stands. I don't care. I'm not there to see them.
Okay, so that's where I'll disagree with you. When it comes, what is that sigh?
It's not for you, though. It's for the casual fan. And Taylor Swift being in the box isn't for you either. It's for the wives of the guys who have to watch football. Shake it off, Gerard.
I'm only saying is
shake it off. Shake it off.
But you can't. But on the other hand, because her and her bodyguard team complain because fans go out of their way to harass and stuff like that. It's like, wait a minute.
No, whoa. They can't complain because, I mean, I would absolutely say that Rhea Ripley. I can say that Tiffany Stratton. I can say all these wrestling women.
Touching's one thing. But when you're going on complaining because people don't like what you're wearing, people don't like this about, but none of them are touching her because her security, okay? I think it's easier to get into Fort Knox than it is to touch Taylor Swift.
You want to touch Taylor Swift?
I'm saying I think it's easier to get into Fort Knox.
I heard what you said. Are you thinking about touching Taylor Swift?
No. And, you know, just not my cup of tea. But I'm saying is the fact of you cannot complain about somebody saying stuff about you online who you've never met.
You can.
And then continuously keep going on doing what you're doing.
I mean, look. I know that you're a boomer, and I know that you're not big into this internet thing. You're a boomer.
I am not. No, hey, listen. Don't get me started on JR. Please don't put me into JR's category.
Not a boomer sooner. You're just old. But I know that you're old and you don't understand the internet like some of us. Hell, I don't understand the internet half the time. But when you are on a social media platform, if you're a person and you put yourself out there, you are allowing yourself to be judged. It's just what it is. Do I always agree with it? No. Do I think that wrestlers and entertainers should have the right to have a semblance of privacy? 100%. But that's just not the world we live in.
What I'm saying is the fact of when you show up in public places and you're getting heat because you show up.
Is that Grande Americano's wife?
All I'm saying is...
Whoa. Hold on. We're going to have to do a hard pivot. We have proof that El Grande Americano and Ludwig Kaiser are not the same person. You want to put that up? We can talk about it.
Hang on a second.
What I was going to say is...
We're talking about family, so it corresponds with that.
But all I'm saying is the fact of when you put yourself out there in these kind of things, family, when people give you heat, as long as they're not physically doing nothing back, you brought it upon yourself for the heat. You don't want the heat. Shut off your Twitter accounts, shut off your Facebooks and stuff like that.
All attention is
as she said, though, haters gonna hate.
Shake it off. All
right.
What you got for me? What you got for me, wife?
I will say this is speculation. But there is rumors that Tiffany Stratton and Ludwig Kaiser are no longer together. And that he is now dating WWE host Andrea Bazarte from Mexico. They were seen, I guess, backstage last night or over the weekend, holding hands and walking and being out and about together. So Tiffany lost her title and her man, allegedly.
I like the hairdo.
I gotta say, I like her better than Tiffany. I think she's more attractive than Tiffany Stratton.
Absolutely.
Or maybe y'all are not seeing the importance of this. Ludwig Kaiser. Hold on, Ludwig Kaiser.
Hey, that could be two different guys.
Ludwig Kaiser is moving in on El Grande Americano's girl. Did you see that? Ludwig Kaiser, that hussy is cheating on El Grande Americano.
Hey, Dan.
Yes.
I'm gonna hate to do this. We have a serious delay. So for 1 minute, if I can just go out and come right back in, just because we actually have a delay. Hold on a second. No, hold on.
No, I'm all alone. You could join me right now, and we can talk about.
No, done. I was on about a 4-second delay from you.
So, yeah, Ludwig Kaiser is trying to steal a Grande Americano's girl.
But the one thing I would like to go back to last night though, because I got to once again work with bro, and it took him about 15 minutes to get into the ring. And I'm like, dude, will you hurry up and get in there? And then he gets in the ring. I didn't think at an independent show he's going to kick off his slippers. He actually did it around me. Because I was standing in the middle, and he did it right around me. And the slippers went into the audience, and he goes, hey, I need those back. It was the only shoes he actually brought. But it was great, though, working with him. And in the main event, working with Dijak and Kalisto, too.
That's another guy I was talking. You didn't get a lot of experience watching Dominic Dijakovic when he was in NXT. What did you think of him as the character Dijak? What did you think about his gimmick? What did you think about him as a person?
His size, why he didn't get something done with him, size-wise, he's a freaking beast. I mean, you gotta look up to the guy. He's like 6'5".
I'm 6'5".
But I'm just saying, though, he's 6'5" and carries himself like he's 5'5".
Yeah, I watching him and Keith Lee do the stuff they did in NXT, which one of these days I got to show you that shit. Just incredible. And I don't know why. I don't know why AEW didn't pick him up. I don't know why somebody didn't pick him up.
It could be because he's a hell of a nice guy, and but he's very he did the heel gimmick last night, and we did, I was going through my emotions and stuff like that, and he was feeding off me a lot, which I so enjoy that when I'm when I'm refereeing and I'm about to count to 5. You want me to break it? Okay, I'm broke. Somebody who can actually play along with the ref. I enjoy it because it makes my job fun. Yeah.
Apparently Gerard got a pop last night. Did you know that?
Because
tell us about that.
I put on Channing Thomas's jacket.
Apparently that fucking Jacoby loves some Channing Thomas.
Yes.
And so he comes out in a ring jacket, a robe, kind of like Kerry Von Erich. And everybody was putting on the robe, and the whole crowd goes, "Put it on, put it on, and Gerard put it on.
After having 3 other wrestlers have it on, it was not exactly sanitary. But
are you saying that wrestlers are stinky?
No, between water and baby oil, I didn't have to even really try to get into it.
They try to ate you, gonna swallow you up in there.
Oh, but and one of the things we were talking about, is the independent shows and the audience of the independent shows, how they've gotten down and stuff like that because the talent to draw from anymore because of the guaranteed contracts. Like I
don't even think it's that. I think that they're buying everybody up because they're afraid of what the other competition is going to get. Well, but but in the same breath, you still got a good show with some good talent there.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is, guys who work for WWE now because of the guaranteed contracts don't care to go to the independents on the weekends, even if they're not working, because let's just say, like we broke it down, let's say you're making $300,000 a year, okay? I think the minimum is $350,000, whatever it is. Divide that by 50, you're looking at $7,000 a week, okay? Oh, I'm making my $7,000 a week. I don't need to do an independent show. Even though I can go make another $1,000 or $2,000, I don't need it anymore. But before, when they were getting paid by appearance, that extra $1,000 or $2,000 could bump up some of these guys' pay a lot. So when I'm talking to the guy, I'm like that's a big problem today, to where not only do they not want to come back because they're getting the guaranteed money, they don't have to do it anymore because, they're not starving. I've never seen a time in wrestling to where wrestlers don't want extra money. If you're
there's also something to be said about Cody Rhodes. I think was the blueprint for how that worked. Cody went to the independents and he made a decent living doing the independents.
Matt Cardona is the only one to where, but they have to drop 15 or 20 grand just for him to show up the door. If you got to pay that out to begin with, and you don't sell a lot, it's like we were finding out last night, to where we had people buy tickets and didn't show up. Sure, those are the best customers, right? But but when it's reversed and the wrestlers don't do that because oh, you can't pay me what I want, that kills the independent scene. Because, so let's just say you book a talent like we did last night and say, 3 times ago, we were going to have this guy there, the main guy, and the main guy doesn't show up. All right, you do it again. The next time you got there, the second main guy has canceled.
So there's another thing that I don't know why independents are so afraid to do this now, but the more independents I see become spot shows. There was an independent here in Texas called PCW. Yeah. There's a wrestler they called Red Dog, and he was their top guy. He ended up becoming Rodney Mack in the WWE. But you could go there towards Six Flags Mall, and you could watch Red Dog and PCW, and they would build their storylines, and you had to be there every week to see where the story went until they got a little bit of syndication or stuff like that. I don't see that anymore with independent wrestling. I don't see these guys, getting this, building up a stable and building up their own program. And I don't know why.
We'll be back in 6 weeks. 6 weeks from now, we're going to be back again. Because a lot of that happened back then to where you would say that. The problem is what you have are local organized independents to where they're happy with their 50 fans a month.
Yeah.
Because the building they're renting is probably dirt cheap, but because they're doing X amount of shows, they probably get a discount. They might be the ones setting up the chairs, breaking down the chairs and stuff like that. So the company doesn't have to, wherever they're doing it from, doesn't have to pay the custodian or something like that to do that extra time. We get to the building yesterday. The ring guy's getting his ring put up. The promoter's talking to the building crew and stuff like that. And they're, how are we going to do this stuff with the barricades? I take one barricade when the ring started up, put it the long way from the ring out, took another one like this. I said, okay, barricades this far from the ring. This is where you go. Just like that. Simple. The problem is nowadays, and I hope you understand this, is too many people want to be the sportatorium event. Where, in my mind, if you're going to spend the amount of money some of these promoters spend to do these events, make it look.
Well, but you don't. I missed that. I missed the sportatorium event. I missed that old Memphis fucking wrestling. They did the same building every week, whether it's 5,000, 500, whatever. But they built their niche audience, and that audience.
What I mean is, even if you're going down low, make it people feel like you're at the top event. You can still make people feel like you're at the top event, even though you spent no money.
What I'm saying is,
that's what I mean by that is,
I'll use us as the example. Okay, so we occasionally we'll have our guys like Universal show up. We'll have all these other guys. We'll have everyone, our core. We'll have Leland or whoever. But those are our guys. We know they're there, and whether this show picks up or whatever it may be, those guys are our guys because they come every week. They come to see what's going on. They check this. Okay, and I love that. We don't need to be like the fucking Meltzlers of the world. We don't need to be that because that's not who we are. And I think wrestling in the same breath, there doesn't always have to be just a WWE and an AEW. There can be a big
No, not what I'm saying is. Not what I'm saying is. Make it look. Every independent show should look, when you walk in the door, it should look like you see on TV, whether it be AEW, whether it be WWE, whether it be TNA, the ring surrounded by barricades with the aisle to the locker room. Okay?
Yeah.
That's how everyone should look. Problem being, when you don't have that look and you want to go back to the carny look, right? It takes away from the fan experience. It really does. The barricades are there to not just protect the wrestlers, but they're there to protect the fans.
We're on our 49th episode, and he can't bitch about refereeing because he was the referee, so now he's going to bitch about barricades.
No. Hey, listen.
Because he was the referee.
No,
he can't bitch about the refereeing, so he's going to bitch about barricades.
I'm going to put it to you like this, okay? The referees last night were the best I've ever seen.
Of course they were.
I applaud.
I'm gonna do the champa.
But the thing about it is, all I'm saying is when it comes to that is independent shows be damned and stuff. If you're gonna try and make money in the business, have it look like the television show that people are watching is not a far stretch.
I don't think it is, but okay. Well, we're going to get into Saturday night's main event because we can sit there and stroke your ego as a referee for the next 30 more minutes. But we also had a show last night called Saturday night's main event.
And Collision.
And Collision. First match of the night, you got Cody Rhodes taking on Drew McIntyre.
Uh-huh.
Cody went over. And I do not agree with that booking. What do you think?
When they came out Friday night with the stipulation, I was not happy with the stipulation.
No.
You can't make it. You can't make that. Why didn't they just turn it into a no-holds-barred match? Because basically what you said is if Cody gets disqualified or counted out, he loses the title. But does that mean the same held for Drew McIntyre still?
Nope.
They didn't specify that. So, wait a minute.
There'll be no stakes for him for that.
They didn't specify that. He specified, well, if I get counted out, I lose. If I get DQ'd, I lose. But Cody, if he does either one, he keeps his title. But when they set it up, they never stated, oh, Drew, just so that you know, your rules stay in place.
No, but it's a given that those rules only affected Cody. Like that. Okay, so so Drew gets disqualified, whatever. But there were shenanigans at the end, and I think they're going to continue this crap with him and Drew. My thing is this: shit or get off the pot. They did the same thing with fucking with Kevin, and they're doing it again here with Drew. I don't know.
Here's the line. If Drew tries to say Cody used the title, the line was said. But Drew's the one who bring the title into the ring.
So he didn't use it.
What I'm saying is,
is we needed a clean finish for this. I think we needed a clean finish. We didn't get a clean finish. And again, just like I said with Kevin, when Kevin got beat by Cody, if this is he's going to fall into that same realm of Finn Balor. Finn Balor is a phenomenal talent. Excellent in the ring. Great mic work. Can do extraordinary things. No pun intended to his old gimmick. But Finn Balor's not going to win that world title anytime soon. You know that even if Kevin comes back, it's going to be 50-50. He's going to win that belt.
Well, here's the thing for you. Does Drew not go back to Raw to challenge Punk?
Who knows? And but then again, we can say that, how does that make sense? He just came off a loss. What right does he have to challenge Cody or Punk?
Because I'm getting screwed so much on SmackDown. Now I'm going to come to Raw. And you know what the first thing Adam Pearce should do? Put him in the ring with who they deem is the bottom of the barrel. And you got to wrestle this guy. If you beat him, then the next week you'll face this guy. I'm going to make you earn it from the bottom.
You have the worst booking ideas sometimes.
No, have him earn it from the bottom up. Because if you think you're going to just waltz in here,
okay, he's not going to Raw. He just left Raw for SmackDown. He's getting screwed over on SmackDown. It's just not happening. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying is the fact of the way
Can we just acknowledge that Drew McIntyre is, look, it's gotten to a point now where I feel bad for him. I wasn't the big Drew guy. And I was like, dude, fucking do something with him. Or let him go. Let him go somewhere else where he can make some fucking waves.
You also whine for Jey Uso too.
I don't want for Jey Uso. No. Oh, we can talk about that. I can't wait to talk about that match.
But I'm just saying the fact of when you've played this politic move that Drew has played, where do you go now? They're going to milk this thing dry. They're going to milk it dry with him and Cody.
So I was listening to Cornette and Ross earlier. They were doing some behind the ropes thing, and it was this from a couple years ago. And they talk about how anytime wrestling has had a major boom, it's followed by a drought or a bigger drought than the boom was. And I think we're still in that, and we have moments where we're starting to get better. But this is what I'm talking about. You have a guy in Drew who's moderately talented. I mean, the guy can talk. The guy, he is funny. He's a great heel. I prefer his heel work to his baby work, but now he has nowhere to go unless they're going to give him time off. They did perfect with Gunther. They gave Gunther time off, and now more people want Gunther back. I want to get into Gunther in a little bit, but
well, let's step back for a second here. You ran a show, 2 shows, same building, 2 nights in a row. One night did double what the first night did in attendance figures. And they still didn't sell out the building.
Yeah, because wrestling isn't I'm going to be honest to say it. Wrestling looks like it's starting to decline again.
Is it wrestling's declining or
it's the guy on top? And this is not a knock at Cody, all right? I'm not going to sit here and say that Cody's John Cena through his fucking era of John Cena-ing stuff. He's not but he is being shoved down our throats. And I think that people, look.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Give me the viable options that can carry the company for more than 30 days because, like I said, Austin ain't walking through the door. Triple H ain't walking through the door.
Roman did it, and it's very hard to be a long-term champion. But Roman did something that was amazing.
Roman did it because of COVID.
No, because the whole time it wasn't during COVID. Listen to me. 2 years it wasn't during COVID. For 2 years he carried that belt. That first year, yeah, you may have something to say there. But for 2 years, you wanted to see Roman get beat. You were enthralled in that bloodline story. You don't believe me? Go back because right now, Gerard, you're not looking very oozy right now. It was amazing how that worked. You built stars. You made Sami Zayn move finally from being that mid-card guy. He looked like a main eventer. You made Jey Uso look like a main eventer. You put Solo in a position where he could be a viable threat at that time. No, hold on.
You made?
Who?
Logan Paul.
Again, a bunch of guys that weren't going to get made, they got made. Okay?
Now, to be fair to Logan Paul, Logan Paul made Logan Paul because of what he did in the ring.
Logan Paul saw what he had, the limited amount of time he had to do something, and his skills and Roman's skills. We were talking about this last night, and I'm going to jump around Saturday night's main event. But I'm going to go into the Cody match real quick. I'm sorry, I'm going to go into the Punk match last night. And like I was talking to her when we were watching it. Punk's selling was excellent. Punk sold that match. Punk took a beating in that match when he was taking a beating. And Jay just looked so fucking sloppy and slow. And, they had we had an argument, I want to say about a year back, you, me, and Jacoby, about who the greatest tag team of all time is. And I said, you got to consider the Usos in that conversation. And y'all didn't agree with me. Y'all brought up other people, what have you. And, Jay's a tag team guy. His cardio, in my opinion, in that match was not great. He looked slow. He wasn't fucking selling for Punk like a guy that's in the main event should be. That neck breaker spot that they botched, that they had to do it twice, looked like shit. That whole match, and she was even telling me as we're watching it, sometimes you just want to go home. That was the longest 20 minutes of my fucking wrestling enjoyment life. It was just, and again, if you want to come in, because I know you, as not someone who analyzes it as much as I do, you had critiques about it too.
It was just aside from his performance, which is being lambasted on Twitter, It was long. The pacing was horrific. It was just enough already. And a lot of these matches that they build up to be the main event that people say, we want longer matches. We want longer matches. No, I don't want longer matches. I don't know if it's 10 minutes, I don't know if it's 12 minutes, I don't know if it's 6 minutes. But what they're doing now with these 20 and 25-minute matches every premium live event is too long. I lose interest. I get bored. They did the same thing with Gunther and Pat McAfee. This stuff goes on for too long. It's painful to watch. And by the end of it, I can give a shit who wins. I just want it to be over.
No, when hold on, Gerard. That Pat McAfee thing, I agree with you on that. It shouldn't have gone that. And you and I talked about it, Gerard. Pat McAfee had no business being in there that long with Gunther. But the opposite of that, WrestleMania, Punk, Roman, and damn it, Seth Rollins. That was a damn good match.
Listen, John Cena and Cody. What did it take? 45 minutes?
And it went by.
Like, if you, like...
So what's the problem then? Because, like, the jelly roll shit, that's too long.
So, last night, during that Fatal 4-Way I was in, we only went 15 minutes. Everybody's like, is it freaking time to go home yet? 15 minutes! We're all, like, blown up. And when you look at it like this, okay, you say, if the guys are feeling that way, what does the crowd saying?
What I'm saying is, like, it felt like, what it felt like is that you had a guy in there who just got a fucking wrestling school, which he's not. Jay's been doing this for years, and a professional. And Punk is a slow, methodical wrestler. Every one of his moves is very impactful and methodical. You know, and Jay, I don't.
Hey, the one of the things we talked about last night is one of the things that even as a babyface made Hogan so good. He was a babyface with a heel role in the ring. Everything else about Hogan was babyface. In the ring, no, he would take his fingers and scratch somebody's back.
Yeah,
that's a heel move. But he would get it over because of what he is. And we were talking about how you don't have
I thought we were going to go this one episode without him talking about Hulk Hogan. But
no, I'm saying is the fact of Jay Uso cannot do that kind of stuff.
Jay Uso doesn't have a move set. I'm going to be
and that's what I'm saying to you is you've seen, like, I'll go back to Hulk. You've seen one Hulk Hogan match. You've seen every Hulk Hogan match because almost every match of his was almost the same.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with Jay. He has.
Can we watch the shitty neck breaker just for reference?
Yeah, I want you to see it because you didn't see it, Gerard. I want you to see this.
Major battle. Now both have been through the ringer this year. Both have been in major battles, and Punk there trying, I think,
who took that, Vince?
For a neck breaker.
Was that a Vince stunner?
It was horrific.
And I watched that in real time, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I almost fell asleep.
Okay, well, here's the other piece. So now he's upset, right?
So we were talking last night about some of the worst workers. Charles Wright, otherwise known as the Boogeyman. And
hold on, she's going to post this up real quick.
Yeah, I just want to just see this. I guess he hears what everybody's saying about him. This is his Instagram account. Y'all win.
Whatever.
Middle finger.
Yeah.
Baby.
I'm going to put it you like this, and you guys will both agree with me on this. If one VKM was still around, that would not be there.
Here's the issue I have. Jay, in my opinion, has allowed his entrance to inflate his ego.
Don't get me wrong. What he does with the kids.
Great.
Okay? But unfortunately, once he gets over that barricade or they restart or, roll it again.
I got you an example just for you, Gerard. And it's going to take you back to your childhood. Coco Beware. The kids love the bird. The kids love Frankie. Coco Beware wasn't going to win the world title.
Nope. He never even came close to a championship until he became tag team with
Owen.
Yeah. Other than that, and because of two things. Number one, his height, and we all know the other reason. But you can have all the charisma in the world.
But if you can't do it in that 20 by 20, there's no point.
Once again, if you can't sell it,
here's the deal.
You got to be able to. You got to be able to believe. It's like the one thing is, if I can. And like, how many times have you heard people say, "If you can't make me believe what you're doing, how am I supposed to believe that you believe?"
So, this is what I'm going to get at. There's two other matches that are on that card that we're going to talk about. One has a guy who has won me over because he is a phenomenal fucking storyteller in the ring for his age, coming out there and being the slimiest fucking heel that he's so over right now because of how he plays to the crowd and always finds a way to get over. Dominic Mysterio. Man, he can do it athletically. The only thing I have an issue with him is that I think he needs to put on a little more size. But other than that, the guy, you want him to lose so bad, but he always finds a way, and he does it and tells the story.
The sad part is, when he turns babyface, he has fans now. When he turns babyface, those fans might turn on him because they want him to stay this guy.
I think you're wrong. And I think that if he keeps going in the trajectory he's so bad because he's not doing anything good. He is a bad guy and has fans. I'm going to say it. I think that Dominic might have a shot at getting a world title someday.
And all I'm going to say is, I ain't saying he's lying, but I also have people, somebody particular, who thinks Sami Zayn's going to win the Royal Rumble.
I do too.
I think that kid's going to win the Rumble.
I don't think it's time yet. He's got a lot of years left.
And the reason why I think they're going to do it to him and let him win it is for the simple fact, Liv is probably going to win.
They're not going to do them both at the same time, Gerard. Damn it. You and the cardboard Miz. And then they'll face Punk and AJ Lee at WrestleMania, and then you'll bitch about fucking relationships.
Listen, I have a funny. Listen, I think the Royal Rumble you're going to see Liv win it because she's coming back. Paige is going to be involved in it to where I think Paige and
I don't know. Hold on, I don't know if you got the message, but I'm not sure, but I think
he's going to KMS.
I think he's going to PMS.
PMS.
Oh. Never mind. I just got what that meant. Don't do that, Jacoby.
I don't know what KMS means.
You don't want to know.
No.
Okay. You had three amazing styles in that match. You had Penta, and as she calls it, his cunty walk. You have fucking Rusev, and he's a great big man. Can do amazing things. And you have this slimy heel, indicative of someone you and I both loved back in the day. Gino, he has come into that Gino Hernandez.
That name was brought up last night. It was brought up.
He has come into that Gino Hernandez role. God rest his soul. Gino would be proud.
The name was brought up last night. We were talking about. I'm trying to remember who the hell we were talking about. To where Gino Hernandez, if he would have came over, it was going to be his role. We were talking. I'm like,
He
He
would have been the model Rick Martel.
No. It was just like he had
everything.
Some guys take years to find it.
I'll put it like this. He was the Latino fucking MJF.
He was. I'll put you. Listen, okay. He was about as close as you could get to a real life studio version of Tony Montana.
Oh, he was excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
And the people that we grew up with watching back then and stuff like that, and
Leland is right. He's going to win the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
and you know, for you growing up in that Dallas area, you didn't get to appreciate him nearly as much as you should have.
Well, I was still relatively a kid, but
Yeah.
But the fact is, like watching back and what he did for Chris Adams, he helped Chris Adams become that heel.
Yep.
Just by fucking proximity, he made Chris Adams a better heel.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's like, you know, you look at it, and it took two guys in WWE to do what one Gino Hernandez was doing. And that's how his name got brought up, is the two characters that were in one Gino Hernandez was the $1 Million Man and Mr. Perfect. That's one Gino Hernandez. You had a split into two.
Let me ask you this. So we both feel the way we do about Dom. Hold that thought 1 second. I had to sneeze. So then we're going to go with this last match, and I wanted to talk about this one last because I just don't get it. I don't, and I'm trying to figure out. Other than she has the perfect build for what you want to design a wrestler to look like, and I'm very much in agreement that it's time for Tiffany to drop the belt. But last night, that was fucking. I don't have an issue with Jade Cargill. I love the story of Jade Cargill. I like her as a heel. But what the fuck was that last night, man?
Bianca Belair.
Great. Then you should have had Bianca beat Tiffany.
Well, here's the thing. The best way to hide a non-performing babyface is to turn him into a non-performing.
That's great, but it had nothing to do with being a heel or a face. It's just, I've talked about this interview multiple times.
You can be as careless as you want to be.
It's not about being careless, Gerard. It's just, I've talked about this interview multiple times before when Paul White sat down with Steve Austin, and for years in WCW, he kept getting yelled at. No, not WCW. When he went from WCW to WWE, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, did what he did with Steve Austin. They were supposed to make money, whatever. They eventually took him over and put him under the learning tree of The Undertaker, and they kept saying, wrestle like a giant, wrestle like a giant, wrestle like a giant. But nobody explained to him what it meant to wrestle like a giant.
Who did train him to do that?
I know. He was trained at the fucking power plant. So eventually in England, a guy he was wrestling with on a fucking run down there, he used to just beat the shit out of him, kick him in the stomach, stun his ass, and pour beer on him every night. Well, one night, that same guy hit him a little too hard. And Paul White got mad and hit him back, finally. And then he realized what it meant to wrestle as a giant. And he, and Paul White talked about trying to show Strowman, and he talked about telling Strowman, look, it's not going to be everybody's night. And if they have to wrestle you, it's not their fucking night. You wrestle, I got to give him a give back. And Paul was like, no, you don't. Great. Jade Cargill last night squashed Tiffany Stratton. Great. But she was trying to be at the same speed as her, and that's not how it works.
That's like the ring psychology. I would love to know who, like me and Kurt were talking about that last night, to where there are no more old-time agents. None. All the guys of agents that are today grew up in the era of quick.
Okay, so then that's okay. We're talking about AEW, and I've grown to like AEW again, and that's great. Slow it down just a little bit. I'm not, Macho Man. What did Macho used to tell fucking Giant? If you're going too fast, if you think you're going too fast, slow down. Quit trying to roll with the Joneses. Just slow down.
So, a couple weeks ago, the Dudley boys did an interview with Maven. And they were talking about a match they did. And there's a story about how if you went 1 minute over, what could happen if you went 1 minute over?
Yeah, what about Michael Hayes?
I'm going to say, you go 2 minutes over. He goes, we went 5 minutes over. They were expecting to walk through the curtain and see their bag sitting there. And Bubba Ray is saying, I got 1 foot through the curtain. And Vince was like right there to his face. And he's like, and Vince looks at me, he goes, you ever go 5 minutes over again? It better be as good as that was. Okay? Today, do these guys know even how, if you're going to go over, to make it good? I'm not saying.
I don't think so. And the reason
that's the thing. So, and I'm going to tell you the thing about it is the fact of the agents to me, like I say, if the agents who are in charge today learned a bunch of bad habits and they never got rid of those habits and nobody told them to get rid of those habits.
So listen to this. Listen to this. The psychology was there. Okay. The psychology was there for the match. But then all of a sudden, she's kind of botching moves. She's trying to do these fucking flippy dippy shits, and she has no business doing flippy dippy slams, like some sort of pump handle flip over fucking face buster. Doesn't need to be done. She did, you know what? She did 3 fucking fall away slams, a la fucking JBL from back in the day. And they looked great if she would have slowed them the fuck down. Now, you don't have to go boom, boom, boom. Take your time. You're a beast for a woman. You're gigantic. Be methodical.
It's like when China was ragdolling Terry Reynolds.
That's a difference.
No, what I'm saying is if Terry Reynolds doesn't act the ragdoll part,
yes,
it takes away from the whole.
What I'm talking about is you're trying to. I get it. That Jade Cargill is a fucking athlete, right? She's a specimen, but slow the fuck down.
Her timing issue.
She can do. Oh, look, she's proven it. This has never been my issue with her. She can do the moves, all right, and she can execute. But she gets an opinion. Again, I'm not in there. I'm not her, but I see her and I think she gets flustered by the crowd because she's not getting that pop, or she's not hearing what she's going to get a different pop than a Tiffany. A Tiffany has got to work twice as hard because she's got to be flashy. She's got to do this prettiest moonsault. She's got to do this. Jade can walk. What reason? Okay.
We see that promo.
It just hit me. It just fucking hit me. Do you remember Elimination Chamber? She walked down there. She beat the brakes off fucking Naomi. What was she doing? She was slow. Yep. She walked down there. She did it just right. Every move had impact. Everything meant something. She waited for her to get so close to getting out with it and slammed the door on her because she took her fucking time.
Next Friday night, does that bitch return?
I don't know. And at this point, it's not about her promos. It's not about her inability. It's just, can you slow
All she down? Does is grab the microphone. The bitch is back. Done.
And that's fine. I have no problem with her promos. I have no problem with her look. And she athletically can do everything. Anything you ask of her, she can do it. She's got the physique. She's got the power. She's got everything. But if you're going to have this woman be a monster, if you're going to have this woman be a fucking monster, then fucking teach her how to slow it the fuck down. She's trying to cram a 10-minute match into 3 minutes. It doesn't work that way.
Well, hey, when you work for AEW and all your matches are 3 minutes.
But there's a difference, okay? I'm wearing, and you didn't know who this was, shows how much of a wrestling fan you are. This is a shirt for what I would consider the best fucking wrestler in the business, Will Ospreay. What that man can do, what he can perform, amazing. Everything that he does, I think, is amazing. And he does it at a fast pace, yes. But he also knows how to slow it down. He knows how to bring the psychology back. He knows how to put on a fucking sleeper when need be. He knows how to do a move like that. You know, this is why I don't like the Young Bucks and stuff like that, because everything's got to be a fucking high spot. He knows how to slow it down. And I think that it's starting to hit me now that I've become more like Jim Cornette in the fact that I like good storytelling. I don't need blood everywhere. I don't need fucking fish tanks. I don't need thumbtacks. I don't need fucking people setting each other on fire.
Would that go to the motive of watch, listen, learn? Watch the crowd. Listen to the crowd. Learn from the crowd. They'll tell you everything you need to know. Okay?
Wow. Really? 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 You're going to say that? You can
My
just...
Twitter feed is ridiculous right now.
Okay? The crowd will tell you everything you need to know. Everything. Okay?
I would say you respect Leland's opinion, right?
Sometimes.
That statement right there, he belongs in WWE because he is an entertainer. I know that you're not the biggest Kenny Omega fan, but if you were to take Kenny Omega, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Owen Hart and put them in a bowl.
I'm not a fan of Omega when he's on the mic.
Okay. Well,
when he's in the ring just working, take away the gimmicks. Get him a wrestler who can wrestle with him. I will sit back with popcorn and a beer and watch it.
That is Ospreay.
What I'm saying is though.
Except Ospreay can talk.
No, he can't, mate. What are you talking about? He can talk.
Bruv. Are you really just going to make fun of his accent? That's all you're going to do? That's it?
Listen to him is almost as bad as listening to Oscar, okay? And we speak the same freaking language. I'm saying is though.
Did he just say something bad about Oscar?
No, I said.
Did he just
listen?
Tell me.
Him.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
I said, listen to him. I might as well be listening to Oscar because you know what? I don't understand Japanese.
You know who you sound like right now? Old Bill Goldberg.
No, I don't understand Japanese. Sorry. I don't listen.
Some girl.
In 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be 15 years into a marriage. I still don't speak Spanish. Okay?
You need to speak American because we're in America.
Hey, Puerto Rico's part of America too, so just to put that out there. But, I don't want to be a bad bunny. But anywho,
he's your friend right now.
When I'm watching these guys go at it and stuff like that, wrestling, cutting promos and stuff like that, today, somebody will tell me back up in this. I can't stand Dominic Mysterio talking. Can't stand him talking. But depending on who he's wrestling, I want to watch the match.
You know what I do like? I love watching Will Ospreay talk with Chris Jericho in their promo before their match. That's the match. That's the promo you need to see. He's a fucking humble, blue-collar, fucking European Englishman who comes out there and does it better than anybody.
Well,
yes, Leland, yes.
Hey, you know what? So I was talking to somebody last night about that. He's like, they do 125 days a year now if they're lucky. Where was that when I started? And I said, you know what? And there's your problem. They don't hone their craft the way you had to. Okay? They don't want to learn. They don't want to work at it. But boy, they all want the paycheck.
That's not everybody. Yeah, there's some that you're absolutely right. They don't. But if we're talking about the top tier talent, Ospreay is up there, and he put his.
I'm gonna put it like this. What makes a WWE superstar any different from one of the four major sports things? So where once they make it big and they're that athlete, they don't do none of the training rituals anymore and stuff like that. They don't do what they used to do to get into the show.
Are you going to say that Roman doesn't do that?
No. He shows up once every 3 months now.
After putting on a 3-year clinic.
But I'm saying is though, he held the title for almost 4 years.
Is it his fault that they didn't build somebody else who could carry it I'm sorry, Cody's not doing the job.
I'm saying is the fact of when you hold the title. So Cody's going to hold the title for a little over almost 2 years now. How many defenses did he have? 20?
Well, he's had defenses. That's not the okay. So here's the thing: he's had the defenses, but they're saying the same guy over and over.
That's what I'm saying is the fact of what did he have? 20? That used to be in a month. You don't have these guys doing it anymore because you're saying we can't sell house shows because we can't do house shows because. Oh, because if we do house shows, we're going to lose the guys to a company who doesn't do house shows, who do the shits anyway.
Well, AEW is doing house shows.
Yeah, and they're the shits anyway. But remember, with guaranteed
at least you can fucking afford it.
No, with guaranteed contracts, you don't care if one person shows up or 10,000 people show up. You get paid no matter what.
Doesn't quite work like that.
Yes, it does.
No, if you're booked for a show, you're booked for a show. You got to be at that show.
What I'm saying is, though, whether one person buys a ticket for that show or 10,000 buys it, the wrestler still gets paid.
So I would argue that the roster and AEW, whatever they're getting paid, still cares about the craft more than the ones in WWE right now.
I don't listen. Everybody's getting paid guaranteed money, so I'm going to put it like this: if they really cared, they'd be doing live collisions and not taping them.
Cost?
They'd force that guy. Get us live. Get us live. Get us live.
They can't. Why are you putting that on AEW? Look, to be fair, why do you do this to me? Why do you make me have to defend a company that I was very much despising for a while there? But the facts are the facts. WWE, who says that AEW is not their competition, is sure as hell treating them like competition when they're trying to fuck up every other show they're doing. Oh, now we got to move our show. Why? Because WWE is fucking them. If WWE would just
hold on, time out. It's called Beat Me. You know, there used to be a thing called the United States Football League. They went up against the NFL. It lasted for about 3 seasons, and they realized we're not going to beat the NFL.
It would be if it wasn't like bullshit business practices. You're telling me that a year-long fucking non-compete's okay?
Put it this way.
Your boy was there. They sent ice after fucking Andrade.
The deal.
So you're going to be this fan who says that a guy who's as talented as Andrade should not be allowed to wrestle because maybe, you know what, you might be right. Maybe he didn't read the fine print. But you're going to tell me a year-long non-compete?
He broke the fine print.
Fair, very fair. But you're going to say you hold him to that? Y'all don't need Andrade. You don't need him. You don't. So he's going to have to sit on his ass at home for a year and not get paid.
Which, you know what the funny part is about that is? By the time the year's over and he finally gets a court date, the judge will probably find it his favor anyway, which then they can say, okay, the year's over.
Put that up. Please put that up so maybe it'll strike some sense in his boomer ass.
No, what, that?
Yeah.
You know why?
Well, see, he has to sit there and think about it.
But
you know why?
One show a week. They cave every time. They cave. And until you stop caving, you know what? They are the schoolyard bully. And until you stick up to the schoolyard bully, they're going to keep doing it.
They did, and so they got pissy and threw a fit because fucking AEW started beating their fucking C show. This is how childish it's been. This is how childish.
Not right now.
Hold on. This is how childish, and I love how your mind tends to forget this stuff. Again, maybe you are. Maybe you're getting a little senile up there when you're getting up that old age. But AEW was whooping that ass, whooping NXT's ass, and what'd they do? We're going to send our fucking world champion down there. We're going to send everybody we got to NXT.
What I'm saying is today, they're having trouble, okay? I'm not saying WWE is doing any better. Well, they are a couple thousand better. But Wednesday night's Dynamite looked atrocious on television. So I can imagine how bad Collision looked.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, Leland. How's them ticket sales going?
And I'm saying is the fact of, I've said it, whether one person shows up in the seats or 10,000 shows up.
Okay? How's those ticket prices going?
The ticket prices, ticket sales.
Justify those ticket prices, Gerard.
And I told you, we had 50 people not show up last night who bought tickets. Okay?
I don't give a damn about big time wrestling. I'm talking about.
No, I'm saying is,
I'm asking you justify the WWE ticket prices.
Did you hear what I'm trying to say to you? Is this the ticket prices? Okay, I've said it before. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
He's not there.
Stepped.
Don't fall back on Vince. We're talking about current.
No, and if you let me finish.
No. You're talking about. I'm talking about WWE right now.
I am.
WWE that you're supporting right now and the bullshit practices they're doing. You're supporting them right now. We're not talking about Vincent Kennedy fucking.
I don't think WWE. Okay, fine. WWE ain't doing nothing wrong. TKO's fucking up.
Oh no. It is a subsidiary. It is it's underneath the umbrella of TKO.
Listen, keep it up. We're going back to Titan Sports, okay?
WWE has become money hungry, and they're trying to do it. Look,
no,
I don't blame the wrestlers.
Become money hungry, and they're making everybody pay for it.
Well, who signed the original deal? Since she wants to go back in time so much, who was it that signed that deal to make them TKO? It was who was it? It was Ari Emanuel.
Old man.
It was Ari Emanuel. I think Dana Whitehead and Fertitas had something to do with it, and then there was somebody else who kind of has like a Corella DeVille haircut, looks like fucking Paulie Walnuts right now. Oh yeah, your buddy VKM.
You're talking about Strike from Gremlins.
Yeah,
Strike from Gremlins. That's what it is.
They decided because they didn't want to keep it a family fucking business, and they wanted to fuck around and find out because he was upset. Hence the reason he's in a fucking court case right now.
You know, it's
yes. Oh, read that, Gerard. Read that. See how much you love Leland now. Read that.
Oh, listen. Okay, I'm going to say something about. Did you see the?
I'm going to start calling him Jay Meltzer over here.
Did you see the comment he put out saying that he was almost hired from WWE because of all the negativity he was calling on him?
Is this before or after the mullet?
Who, Metzler? No, it was put out Thursday, I think it was.
No, they were going to hire him before or after his fucking mullet on the fucking.
Oh no, he came out. He came out with it the other day, stating, "Hey, they were going to hire me like Thursday or something like that." And I'm like, like on a drive yesterday, like he's got to be out of his goddamn mind that they would hire him.
All I know is that mistakes have been made, and part of them is fucking old Vinnie Mac.
I don't know if they're all Vinnie Mac.
I think we need a palate cleanser. Need to calm the room down.
El Grande Americano against this fluid operator that he is.
Oh man, you're killing me here.
Tiffy Tom's ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend.
Oh, that's brutal. Brutal. You know, this is, oh man, you're killing me here. You're killing me. But no, we've come to. I think we've come to the point, especially when it comes to stuff like these guys, to where they have got to do something. I think they need to go back, first of all, to the, hey, we need to go back to the sections of the building that were family friendly pricing.
See.
Okay. By going back to family friendly pricing, even if it's in 2 or 3 sections, to where you have those $25 seats. A $25 seat getting sold is better than a $50 seat going unsold.
See.
Okay. You know, and other than that, my Blue Blazer friend, You know another Blue Blazer. You look like the guy from Dirty Harry. But other than that, what can be done right now to where any company brings up attendance? AEW had this problem long before WWE started having the problem. And AEW has even downshifted their buildings from the 15,000 seat arenas. They've gone down to the 5,000 seat arenas.
Okay, but if you want to do a history lesson, fine. We'll do a history lesson. Hold on. We'll make it serious.
Oh, God.
AEW showed up, right? You had Cody, you had the Bucks, you had Chris Jericho, you had Hangman Page, and they were literally revolutionizing the business and the fact that it was going to be finally somewhere that had the money and the backing to compete with WWE. Because say what you want about the Khan family, they're loaded. They got the cash. They got the juice. And what they did was they started doing a revolution. Let's be honest. It changed the way we faced and looked at wrestling. I'm of the opinion, and you can disagree all you want, there would not have been a fucking tribal chief. There would not have been all this shit that had changed if it wasn't for what AEW started. And that was with Le Champion, Chris Jericho, and all that other stuff.
Well,
So, hold on. You fucking WWE mark defending shit. I got you. Hold on. And whenever I tell you look like a little penis with a hat on. Anyway.
How can you say that when you got a strike zone like this?
So as it went on, WWE had to fucking fast track and change shit. COVID hit. That was a fucking horrible thing to happen. You lost guys like Brody Lee. Fucking Cody started falling and deteriorating because they did that stupid stipulation where if he lost, he would never challenge for the AEW World Title ever. You also started building up guys like fucking MJF. Things were going great. They brought Punk in. Oh my God, it was a shock to the fucking system. Oh, shock to the system. Adam Cole, baby. Bryan Danielson. Oh wow, we're cooking with gas now. Samoa Joe. All these guys came in and they were literally boosting everything. The young guys are coming up. But then egos, because when you start making money and you start rocking and rolling, this was a new company and egos took precedent. So you had Brawl Out after fucking Hangman and Adam Page decided to go into business for himself, listening to an idiot like Colt Cabana and listening to his fucking friends who didn't know and realize that fucking live television costs money. And you want to act like an idiot with a guy like CM Punk, he's going to fucking tell you what's up because he doesn't need this. He's here because he wants to be here. Punk, if you think Punk needs a fucking dime anymore, you've lost your mind. The guy is very frugal, got all the money in the world, and doesn't need this. He does it because he loves it. Losing Punk, losing Cody, that was a downfall of AEW. They started trying to be too much like WWE 2.0. They got away from what made them popular, like gimmicks like the Dark Order, like gimmicks like Jurassic Express, like gimmicks like MJF. They started trying to be something different than what they started. And ultimately, it led to their downfall. The day that AEW finally goes, fuck, is when Cody Rhodes comes out of that fucking elevator at WrestleMania and faces Seth Rollins. Because they realized, shit, we just lost one of our biggest stars who's over there in one of the main events of WrestleMania on his first fucking night. And it's taken a long time. Trust me, it's taken a long time. But you finally now are starting to see the rise of the old school style of AEW. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, Brodito. If you're going to tell me you can't enjoy a Brodito match, even something for your old self, they have the fucking runners. Those guys who wrestle like they're from the 80s and they even have gear that look like the old Newport fucking cigarette pants. They're trying to go back to that stuff.
You remind me of the Beverly Brothers.
I love the fucking Outrunners. You will not talk ill of the Outrunners and their mustaches. If you and I were a tag team,
The mullets, they look like the Beverly Brothers.
If you and I were a tag team, we would be the Outrunners. FTR, excellent tag team. The tag team division in fucking AEW is excellent. Even the comical fucking gigantic fucking, they even got something for you from the 80s. The Don Callis family. So many people in that fucking stable for no reason. The problem is they have allowed themselves to fall so far. I don't know if there's a way to come back because WWE is counter booking and producing to everything they do. Everything. They have fucking Aubrey Edwards, who I'm not a fan of. To be honest, you know this. I'm not a fan of Aubrey Edwards doing some shtick with fucking Marina Shafir. Where everybody believes that Aubrey Edwards is finally going to get in the ring and wrestle fucking Marina Shafir. Okay. So WWE allegedly is considering putting Jessica Carr in a match with fucking Becky Lynch. Everything WWE do is counterproductive and counter-programming to AEW. Tell me that's fucking... You're down with that kind of bullshit. WWE should be fucking setting the standard. Instead, they're being a fucking bully.
I said to you, you want to stop the bullying. Beat the bully at his game. Don't go blaming WWE because AEW doesn't have somebody smart enough to know how to book around them.
Okay, that's the thing. They're booking, and then WWE will book that same arena or that same night.
What I'm saying is, don't blame WWE because they can outsmart somebody because they're not the smartest person in the world.
No, it's a matter of fan bases. Okay, WWE knows that they have more fucking
You
viewers.
just said a minute ago that Tony Khan's family has more money.
They do.
Then why not tell the building, I'll double pay if I have to?
It's not about the building. It's the time slot. You can't out fucking book time.
Okay, guess what? They have a contract with a company where WWE has a contract with a Netflix, okay, and USA.
You're going to sit here and tell me that AEW, that WWE is not being fucking assholes.
Beat them.
They don't have the fan base.
Then stop trying. Wait, hold on. You can't have it both ways.
What do you mean both ways?
You can't say, "Oh my God, the bully's picking on me." Oh wait,
no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're sitting here defending that WWE is this and this and this and this, and they're so great and they're so wonderful. Not talking about their fucking atrocious.
It's called capitalism.
I get it. It's also called a monopoly.
But guess what, though? They're not a monopoly.
Oh, I'm sorry, because they haven't bought TNA. They haven't bought them.
It's no, they're not a monopoly because guess what? They're not the only candy store in town.
You're right.
Just because they can do it better than anybody else,
they're not. Okay. The shit that's going on in WWE is sliding back to the old lazy bullshit they used to do.
And
AEW.
like I said before, and I'm going to say it again. For everybody who got their wish and a certain guy is gone, how many of those people today are saying, damn?
I'm not saying that. Vince's booking was shit.
No, what I'm saying is, if you could, take away the creative Vince McMahon, but if you could have kept the businessman Vince McMahon.
100%. I will agree with you on that.
And that's what I'm saying to you. People miss.
But you're still, yes, guy. I missed a business guy who he wanted money, but he also had a fucking heart to care about the fan base.
All right, that's what I'm saying. The people I've heard.
He was a piece of shit, but he cared about the fans.
The creative Vince McMahon, I don't want to see him walk through the door.
No.
The business,
yes. Which is exactly what fucking is just trying to go on in AEW, but they're trying to squash that shit out.
But I'm just saying
I will put up AEW's wrestling, anything they have going on in the ring, over anything WWE is doing right now.
Listen, I'm not
other than that fucking fish tank shit. That's bullshit.
I'm not saying those guys don't work hard. I'm saying.
Whoa, hold on. Did you just say that out loud?
I'm not saying.
Did you actually say that for the first time ever?
No,
did you just say that?
No, I've seen the matches. I'm not saying they don't work hard. Do I think some of their matches go way too long? Absolutely. Do I not believe that?
I guarantee their worst match is better than that Punk fucking Jey Uso horseshit dog fart of a fucking match I saw last night.
I'm going to give you the biggest reason why. Jey Uso had no business in the ring because why? CM Punk is 6 times better.
Okay,
And
so
listen, okay, I'm going to put it like this. We cannot constantly criticize Mercedes Moné because she handpicks her opponents, okay? Because somebody bring it up to me today saying, if it wasn't for Stephanie Vickers, all these pictures that came out after last night, because now all the champions in WWE are ex-AEW's employees. Well, guess what? Cody was in WWE first. Punk was in WWE first.
What did they do with Cody? When WWE, what did they do with Cody until he came back? Shit.
But he wasn't an AEW employee first.
He wasn't the original AEW employee.
No, he wasn't. But he wasn't there first. He made his living, made his mark in WWE first.
Well, he was Stardust. Okay, yeah, that was great. He was Stardust.
I'm saying the fact of, okay, when these guys and gals, when you're looking at everything that's being done,
yeah,
Jade Cargill, it's taken her over 2 years now to find that little niche that she had. So it's like somebody who goes to a new team and 3 years later to win the World Series and say, well, he used to be on this team. No, it's 3 years removed.
Well, shit, hold on. You really want to talk shit? Listen to this. Every one of the characters that's a champion right now, just about, was someone who got made over in AEW.
Oh, so Cody got made. He wasn't a made guy. I know who Cody Rhodes was before he went to AEW.
He was fucking Stardust. Okay, hold on. So WWE had the fucking the same wrestling as more than one royal family. That was AEW's version of Cody Rhodes that showed up at WrestleMania.
I definitely know who CM Punk was before he went to AEW.
The CM Punk
he only had a cup of coffee in AEW.
The CM Punk that showed up recently is the same version of him from AEW that didn't give a fuck anymore.
I'm just saying, he only had a cup of coffee there before. He had to pour a cup of coffee.
Ricky Saints is the NXT champion right now, formerly Ricky Starks from AEW.
And put it this way, one of the true guys I can say AEW dropped a big freaking ball on.
Mariah May, who used to be.
Listen,
Blake Monroe.
If it wasn't for Mercedes Moné, she'd probably still be there.
No, she wanted to.
So she saw no light at all in the tunnel because why? There was no light in that tunnel.
Another AEW gal, Stephanie Vickers.
No, Mercedes Moné closed the garage door. Everybody goes into that tunnel, they hit the wall.
I just named almost every. Who's the other one?
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
Yeah, I'm just saying is these guys who left there. They didn't leave there because of the fact everything was so great and dandy.
No, you're right. I'm not saying that. But WWE is basically got all of AEW's old talent because they couldn't get it together with their own shit.
But who's really left WWE recently to jump?
Oh yeah, he can't wrestle because he can't wrestle for a year.
Oh wait a minute, hold on. Or 16-man tournament that could include guys that are not under contract currently. Okay. The BS going back and forth. And like I say, the thing when it comes to Andrade, you sign a contract.
And I'm with you. I get that. He fucked up, whatever. But you think, I'm going to ask you as a man, a guy that busted his ass in the ring, a guy that worked his ass up from the ring, should be harmed to a point where he can no longer earn a paycheck for a year.
Absolutely. If you did exactly, listen, conduct, if you read that right, conduct unbecoming.
These fucking contracts are another reason why you need to get a fucking union. This is horse shit.
But conduct unbecoming?
So wait, are you of the fact that he should be treated like an independent contractor? Or are these actually employees?
Okay. You want to ask me that question? Then I'm going to answer with this one. 900 Major League Baseball players are independent contractors signed to their respective teams. They're not employees. And why? Everybody gets paid a different salary, so they're all independent contractors. Nobody says anything about MLB having a monopoly, though. Okay?
The wrestling business.
1,500 NFL people.
There's two sides of the wrestling business. There is the workers, which are the athletes that go and they entertain us every fucking week, and there's a fucking office that is full of shit. Yeah. Someone like Andrade not being allowed to work and do his job is bullshit.
Hey, let me ask you this though: is it more of a lawyer issue than it is? Well, because I'll tell you this right now. From hearing what I heard yesterday, for the past couple of days, I would say this: the legal part of this seems like it's more fucked up than the actual contractual part of this.
Whatever it may be.
Listen, and that's why I'm saying to you is, if they could figure out the legal part of it compared to figure out the contractual part, I think the contractual part's the easy part. I think they're hung over in the legal part of it right now to where, that's why I say it might take them a year to get through the legal part to where.
But again, the contract itself is horseshit. A 90-day non-compete, I still think is horseshit.
Well, the 90-day non-compete is they tell you, hey, in 90 days your contract's up, we're not going to renew you, but we're going to pay you for the rest of those 90 days. If I'm getting paid 90 days to sit at home and I ain't going to do
that's fine. That's fine. It's the 90 days after that you can't do shit.
No. Once they give you that 90-day window, in 90 days we're not renewing your contract. That's 90 days. So the day that contract expires, you're good to go. It's not another 90 days on top of that.
No, what I'm saying is, they're getting paid. He's not.
They're getting paid.
He's not.
He broke the clause of his contract.
The contract is full of shit.
Oh, so now you see that now you're talking logistics. You're saying, hey, you signed a contract, it's full of shit though. But he signed it, he put his name on it.
Fair. And maybe they didn't look at it properly, and maybe that's what the deal was. He didn't read the fucking fine print. And I get you.
And now remind you,
why would you
even know the fine print is like, really, really
invisible? Invisible? Is invisible?
Right. You get the point.
Well, no, what I'm saying is this: as a man, I'm asking you, as a man who has to provide for his family, do you, and your heart of hearts, believe that putting a clause in a contract like that is fair?
Yes, because I know that it's just like going AWOL in the military.
He didn't go AWOL.
Yes, he did, because he went weeks without even being able to get contacted. They tried for weeks to contact him, but because he was somewhere in Mexico that didn't get phone reception, and he told nobody where he was going, and the first thing he does when he comes back, he fails a drug test. Okay. So as soon as they get a hold of you, you fail a drug test.
So then fire him.
But then that's the easy way.
So that's where I'm getting at, and I'm glad you said it that way, just like your evil ass would. They're punishing him. This is supposed to be business, right? This is supposed to be. There's no emotion in this.
Personal. It is business.
Punishment to somebody. What you just said, that was very personal. They're punishing him.
And you know what? Make me the example, not the exception to the rule. So if you're going to do it to me...
It's not about an example. Just you blackball him, he's not allowed to come back to the biggest company in the world.
Let me ask you this, though. If they're going to do it to him, let's just say another person screws up within a year's time, just like he did. How much does that bolster his case if the person doesn't get the same treatment?
Well, not just that, but think about this. How does this whole situation bolster anybody who wants to go there and realize, wait a minute, I like to smoke a little weed. What if I get popped? Yeah, I better not go there.
Well, no. First of all, I don't believe they do. I don't think it's for. If this was over weed, I guarantee it's not over weed.
Okay, well, whatever it may be.
I'll tell you the reason why. Because how many states can they go into to where weed is legit? You just can't bring it on a plane with you.
How many guys got busted for that steroid scandal? And you're going to tell me, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but how many times did Paul Levesque get busted for steroids? Not once.
Well, I'll put you like this. You know who gets that results before the WWE got that results? The state athletic commission that they were in. Okay? Now, depending on the state that you are in, we can release this.
Yeah, but WWE used to decide who they're testing because technically it's not a competitive. And you can, I'm sure. No. Actually, no, they're not. They are not. It just hit me. No, because it is not a competition. It is performance, and because it is performance, most state jurisdictions do not require a state athletic commission to go in. Because what Vince McMahon did was Vince McMahon came out.
I got piss tested
this week.
No, when I used to work there, I would get pee tested.
And who worked there?
Huh?
And this was the time before Vince came out and said, "We're entertainment."
No, what used to happen, like we were talking about yesterday, is the fact of the commission guy would show up, collect his money, and go out the back door. Okay, so a lot of it, a few bad apples have spoiled it for a lot of people.
All I'm saying is not everybody gets tested.
No, a few bad apples.
Not everybody
have spoiled it for a lot of people to wear.
So the athletic commissions do not run through WWE.
It depends on the state.
It doesn't, because it's a performance. It's entertainment.
But depending on the state.
So you saying all this stuff, and I'm sure that they decide. I'm saying that they decided, oh, we couldn't reach you. You're in Mexico. We couldn't hear from you. Go ahead and piss in this cup for me.
And once they did that,
great. And I understand that. Then fire him. Don't fucking be fucking cunts and decide you can't wrestle for a fucking year.
My question is, let's just say the con man did the same thing. Would we even be having this discussion?
Which con?
The con man.
The one that's jacking up my fucking prices so I can't go even see a show? The one that's saying that it's okay to fucking overprice people? The one that's saying that we're going to have WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia before we had it in England?
The one that also runs the Jacksonville Jaguars, that con man.
Oh, because see, as far as I'm concerned, that con man has done everything he can to take care of his fans.
Did you hear what I just said? If he did the exact same thing to one of his wrestlers,
we would be having that conversation. But
no,
right
we
now,
no, we wouldn't. Because you know why?
Why?
It would never got leaked out.
So you're saying that WWE has got people that are leaking out this stuff?
That got leaked out on purpose.
Why? Why?
So nobody ever does the same thing again.
So they're making an example of somebody. They're making an example.
I ain't saying he's not being made an example of. He's definitely being made an example. Basically saying, if this is what you're going to do, read the fine print of the contract. I read the fine print of the contract because that's what got put out. Conduct detrimental. Nothing more, nothing less. Conduct that it can be conduct undetrimental, and you're released. Conduct detrimental.
All I'm saying is it's bullshit that you're punishing somebody.
Okay,
if this isn't personal.
Your work ain't get a hold of you for 3 weeks. But you don't call out sick. And then we're going to put you on indefinite suspension without pay.
I get fired.
No, indefinite suspension.
I get fired. That's no call, no show. That's no call, no show. I get fired.
That to me, what they've done to him is indefinite suspension without pay. So that's what it is to me.
Yeah, but if I got indefinite suspension, I'm going to go work somewhere else.
Well, in this kind of thing, you can't because you're part of it. You still got a contract you got to live by.
Yeah. So again, it's punishment. They're taking out. It's not business. It's personal.
Now, I also saw somebody throw a crazy idea. They haven't released them yet because I'm calling it indefinite suspension without pay. There's always a chance he could show up at the Royal Rumble. They can bring him back anytime they want to.
Your favorite fucking journalist, Dave Meltzer's already come out and said that that's not true.
No, I'm just saying they could throw him out at the Royal
Rumble. Do you
Rumble.
have any thoughts on this, dear? Why not? You don't want to get in a fight with me and Gerard?
We're doing a pretty good job.
All I know is I think it's horse shit. I think that you're fucking depriving a man of making a living. I think that WWE are fucking assholes for that.
Why? My question is, how come it's always the employer? How come it's never the employee?
Because the employees for WWE are fucking victims, in my opinion. I think that they get hold on, hear me out. There's a lot of guys and gals, and a couple that we should be talking about at some point, who got fucking treated like shit. And just for them to have another, and don't get me wrong, the replacement is a very good couple as well. But Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux got fucked on their deal. And all they did was replace it with Aleister Black and fucking Zelina Vega.
Well, 2 people they had under contract already.
But you think that that's fair how they did that? The fans clearly love them some fucking Karrion Kross. They don't care about the fans. They don't give a shit about us.
No.
This is what it's about. Contrary to the other side. Contrary to the other side. And again, I don't like defending them because they've done some things like their fucking lack of fucking acknowledgement of the death of Hulk Hogan really bothered me. It very much bothered me. Their fucking push of Mercedes Moné very much bothers me. But if you have to ask me, gun to my head, I will absolutely say AEW gives more of a shit about its actual talent than WWE. AEW cares about its fan base more than WWE. We are not just fucking dollar signs to a lot of fucking AEW's.
I'm glad you just said that about the one thing that you don't like about them that made them mad because of the Hogan.
Yes.
Okay? But they honor a guy every year who is never even part of the company.
They're doing more than fucking WWE did.
They're not allowed to.
Why is that?
Because the wife of somebody won't let it have nothing to do. She won't have the family anything to do with it. Never mind just the company. She won't allow the family to have anything to do with his name.
I'm going to ask you a question because I think you're the only one who could fucking give a fair answer. If I was Owen Hart and WWE and that happened, yeah, I want you to answer and tell me. And I'm taking a chance here because I don't know what she's going to say. If I was Owen and she's Martha, I want her to give her answer how she would feel about all that. And if another company was treating my legacy and memory better.
No, I don't think that you get to even accidentally, okay, even if we say it was accidental and it wasn't bullshit, murk somebody and then get to ride on the back of their memory to promote.
My thing is
money. And so, no, you lose the right to that person in my mind. And if there's another organization, yeah, he had nothing to do with them, but I'm proud of my husband's legacy and everything he did. And that can be honored somewhere else. And by all means, I would take it somewhere else. But the people responsible for me not having him in my life anymore don't get to benefit from that.
My thing on that has been this. When you strip the family, she was his husband, but he had, 12 other women?
She was his husband?
Yeah, she was his wife.
Yes.
But you have 12 members of the family that are not allowed in any way, shape, or form to do any kind of tributes to him. The other 12 members of his family don't have a right to say, we want our brother put into the Hall of Fame so people can enjoy his memory. So you can watch his matches on the network and stuff like that. None of his stuff is allowed to be shown. What are you going to stop by?
His house. She has an overriding, say.
And that's what I'm saying. Is like, how much time has to go? Because Tony Khan can't show one clip of him unless it's unless Martha happened to have a video of him doing something on an independent scene or something like that before he became a WWE superstar.
Here's what I would say. I would say the exit of Vince could have been a point where that could have been amended.
No.
No, if I had an issue, if the leader of that company is no longer there, then maybe it's a time to reevaluate if family wants to be involved, that they can.
Okay, hold on. Gerard, you just said they can't show anything of Owen Hart, right? Like AEW can't show anything of Owen Hart, right?
Yeah.
Right.
WWE Stampede Wrestling related.
So who becomes the bigger dick here? If Martha would love to have a catalog of her husband's achievements, but a company, granted that he wrestled for that company, yes, he worked for that company, but that company is such a fucking piece of shit that you can't let that wife have the videos and display those videos somewhere else. Who's the bigger asshole?
Well, put it this way. She, not just because of the company, because of what she's done with the whole family. And you know what? WWE is basically saying, hey, if we can't put them out there, they've even offered to put up there to try and get her a royalty check. She doesn't want it.
And I think that's more indicative of how strong a woman she is. It's not about the money. Have they ever come out and apologized?
I think with the 18 million reason settlement that ended up going through.
Whatever. You killed they killed her husband.
I can't listen. You can't. There's nobody can say to me, nobody that right now can say to me, the WWE pulled the trigger.
All I'm saying is, if you go back and look at the way the shoddy practices they did with that harness,
it was negligent. We'll just say that.
It was very negligent. I'm not saying that they did it.
Not purposefully, but
I think they should have apologized. Their negligence. And then to continue a pay-per-view with the blood still on the mat. Come on.
Put this way, that in and of itself was the thing that really got to me, is the fact of, I understand the adage in professional wrestling, the show must go on. Give me the one fan who would have cared if they would have.
I feel your emotion right now. Right now, this is the most fucking I've ever felt you. This is the hardest thing for you as far as like going against this company. And I don't hate WWE, but I can acknowledge that.
No, I'm just saying, I think that was the one thing to where no fans would have been pissing, saying, I want my money back. It's not like when the electricity went out in the building and they had to redo the show.
A motherfucker died and his blood was still in the ring, and they had guys still going out there wrestling on the same canvas that man died on.
To take that the other way, though, AEW does that constantly, where people go and wrestle on canvases where people drop pints of blood in the ring.
Fuck that. Don't even try. No. A man died in the fucking ring, and you're trying to adequate that to people bleeding in the ring?
There wasn't a...
Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
There's not as much blood. There wasn't as much blood in that.
Don't you fucking dare with that bullshit. I swear. You fucking ass. Oh no, they're bleeding in the ring. It's the same as fucking Owen falling and dying. Really? You dick.
I'm just saying, we see some of these cut jobs that more blood happens there.
Oh my god.
Well,
what happened to my camera? I do not know what happened to my camera. I don't care right now, but also. Yeah, my camera's fucked. Anyway, it won't come. I don't know. It won't come back on.
Well, it's doing me a favor.
Dick. All I'm saying is that when you're talking about, you brought it up. I didn't bring up Owen. You brought up Owen. But you're talking about Owen, and WWE has never apologized for their negligence. Vince Russo has never fucking owned up to the fact that he was wrong for trying to put him up in the fucking blue blazer gimmick horse shit. Well, who needed him to be the blue blazer? He was excellent as he was. He was the king of hearts. He was the 2-time Slammy award-winning fucking wrestler. Him and Brett were almost on the same level athletically, except he could do the high-flying shit. Owen got fucked because he was Bret Hart's brother. And when he decided to stay, he kept loyalty, and he stayed in the company that fucked his brother. What did he get for it?
Oh.
Look, say what you want. WWE, the back office, there's some shady shit. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I love wrestling. I love WWE. I love everything. I love WWF.
Like I said to you, I think the shady shit still goes on in all forms of it. But you get the nitpickers out there who we're gonna pick on this, leave this alone. We're gonna get after that and leave that alone and stuff like that. Because unfortunately today, most of your internet writers are geared more towards making AEW look perfect and ripping WWE.
And I'm not. You know that we are not. You and I are not journalists. You, myself, and my beautiful wife are not fucking journalists. We're
no,
fans.
but you get my point about that.
I do. But here's the thing. WWE is not the fucking wholesome. Okay. Gonna grab it. I'll grab it.
Wholesome family entertainment.
It's not the wholesome family fucking entertainment. Hold on, I'll grab it. It's not the wholesome family fucking entertainment. And you know what? Disney wasn't either. Because I'll leave you with this because I got to go grab something. Walt Disney was a fucking Nazi. So I don't want to hear shit about WWE being wholesome when they're fucking... No, they're not Disney. I'll be back.
Well, listen. They're not Disney. You know, in the past couple of weeks, you've had multiple people die on their property. So, I mean, even Disney has their issues. Talk about raising prices. Disney is about to outprice and I was talking to somebody about it. I said, you know what the biggest deal with Disney is you've made it so that way these Florida residence passes where you get these people who need to go to Disney every day. That takes away from the normal Joes who want to go there and makes it more packed. So with the normal Joes, like you're taking backseats to the Florida residences. Where what they should do is make the Florida residences and or California people, you got to make appointments to come so we can get our money off the tourists. Because the tourists pay for all the bills in Florida. The people who live there don't really have to pay. So when you talk about the tickets in wrestling, okay, with the TKOs and stuff like that, you're harming your core audience, where your core audience is usually the lower income spectrum because they got unafforded by the 4 other major sports. And, you know, the lower income bracket of incomes can more relate to the struggles of a professional wrestler in certain ways. You know, you don't see a kid living on poverty that much going to the baseball games, the football games, the hockey games, and the NBAs and stuff like that because the ticket costs for them are so outrageous. But you could see those kids going to a wrestling event.
Okay, but then to the point about how there's less house shows, there is less quantity. The contracts are getting more expensive for the.
They got 9 billion reasons.
So if because they're in debt. But if you start adding back in filler shows and ground and house shows, you can lower that ticket price because you have more butts in seats, more days of the week. When you start pulling shows out, you only have so many events a year, you have to cover that gap somehow, so you have to jack up the price of the tickets.
So for all
AEW does 40 shows a day. Their tickets are 20.
All the hassle people give about that. Who is the one who talked about we're only going to let our entertainers work a certain amount of days a year? We're not going to do house shows.
Well, to be fair, it was actually the wrestlers. They came and they said they wanted to do more house shows.
No, what I'm saying is when this house show stuff basically went away,
during COVID,
because one company was saying, hey, come work for me. You don't do house shows. You guaranteed your contract. Oh, and you only need to work 1 night a week. I won't even bother to put you on my second show. Oh, wait a minute. Because my second show.
You're talking shit, but AEW is starting to do everything. This is what I find crazy. WWE is not the Democratic Party of your childhood, Gerard.
Democratic.
Yeah, WWE is not the Democrat Party of your childhood.
Oh no.
And AEW is becoming the Republican Party of your adulthood. They're starting to give you everything you asked for, and you're having trouble accepting that. I understand being a staunch WWE fan.
No,
I
listen,
know that.
what is
Hold on. I
What
know
is
that
AEW giving me? What are they giving me?
they're taking care of the wrestlers. They're listening to their fans. They're starting to bring back house shows because that's what the wrestlers wanted.
And you know what? You know what happens when what happens when you listen to the fans all the time? You go broke. And how can they give the wrestlers house shows when they can't even keep their 2 shows live? So you're not going to give it house shows, but I mean, you're not going to do your 2 television shows live, but we're going to give you house shows. Think about how much sense that makes.
To be fair, they've been forced to start moving things around because they're being counter booked.
You don't move shit around for counter book. Like they've already said they're not going against John Cena's last night. They're not going to do it. There's going to be no collision on December 13th.
Yeah.
Is that a WWE's problem?
No, they're doing it out of respect.
But they won't respect the guy that you just talked about, who, guess what? If it wasn't for that one guy, we ain't even talking today.
I'm with you, and this is where you and I are different. I'll absolutely agree. It was wrong for them not to pay homage and show respect to the man who basically made this business. Like him or hate him, Hulk Hogan is wrestling. He is the Michael Jordan. He is the Wayne Gretzky. He is the Troy Aikman. He is the fucking Tom Landry of wrestling. He is the greatest entertainer of all time. No one carried a company or a business or a profession on his back like Terry Bollea.
Throw it on you. Listen. And
I'm with you. Hold on. I'm with you. And I don't agree with what AEW did. They should have paid proper respect. But it's not always black and white. And I have to sit here and say, as far as treating their wrestlers, treating their fans, and treating their company better, and not looking at you, me, and everybody else as just another fucking dollar sign, I think AEW cares more about its fan base, its employees, and its overall product.
That they take care of their journalists.
I don't like Dave Meltzer. You
know
this.
Dave Meltzer.
I don't like a lot of those guys. Hell, I used to love woke culture, and I feel like they've become a little too biased. I think a lot of them have become very biased as far as AEW. But then I have to think about this, Gerard. I have to think about this. Maybe it's because, just maybe, it's because they're giving them a fair shake. It's because
no. It's because Tony Khan does it for the simple fact he wants all those reporters in there, stuff like that. If you say something bad about AEW as a reporter, see you later, bye. We don't want anybody saying anything bad because when from the owner down, everything's great, everything's good. He has 125 million watches a week. Okay? That's what he claims. Everybody who has HBO Max watches AEW programming.
Well, we have 1 minute left, and I'm going to say there is somebody else who's now recently been throwing reporters out of an office, throwing them out of the press room. You and I both voted for him.
Well, you know.
And
will that be El Grande Americano?
That being said, I want everybody to know that when y'all watch this, we may argue heatedly and we may get at it, but we fucking love each other. I love me some Gerard Millette. Everyone knows I love my wife, and Gerard is he's one of my favorite people to do this with. Jacoby, get your internet fixed. And that being said, this was the Marks Podcast. That is Gerard Millette. I am Dan, and that is Trips. Jacoby will be back.
Just so you guys know, he's doing his John Cena intimidation of you can't see him.
Actually, no, that'd be when I do this.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.